Hey, it's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, I am on location in Portland, Oregon. I'm here today. It's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, we are one sister to another with a show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation heard live right here at One Sister to Another podcast. I'm excited about being in Portland. I am in one of the local coffee shops and actually tea shops. It's called TCT. We're having tea. I'm here celebrating my birthday weekend, and I thought to do it right here in Portland, Oregon. I've got some amazing uh, of course, guests today. I am always sponsored by, of course, Everything Moves Consulting and Promoting. Vending is my business. Of course, if you want that business to pop, then you may want to call your girl 630-935-9093. And of course, talk to me about consulting with you about making sure that that event goes without any errors, without any challenges. Okay, I'm your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. I've got my amazing team behind me, and they're getting it in. But I've got some folk with me today who gonna shut the thing down. Of course, I've got with me none other than y'all know we do it every first Saturday of the month. He is Khalid Scott. We're gonna do conversations with Khalid, but we're gonna have him hang on with us a little while longer because that's what we've been doing with him the last couple of months. And then, of course, he's gonna take us in, but also we have with us today my Ty. Of course, I love her because she's got so much spunk. And girl, that hair is popping today. You hear me? I love these highlights. Anyway, Khalid, where your highlights? Anyway, so we doing it today because, of course, we only do it with class. We do it with excellence. It's, of course, one sister to another. And today we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about dating. I don't know why, but it seems, Khalid, that whenever we have you on, we definitely want to talk about our relationships. We want to talk about our mental. We want to talk about what it is, what it means, what it brings. We want to talk about why is it, and then we bring my tie in because my tie seems to take us to some areas and look at some perspectives that maybe we don't always think about. But she does it with the raw and the real, and so I love it. So will you all welcome my guest today? Of course, Conversations with Khalid is our mental clinician, Khalid Scott. Yeah. Say hey to people, Khalid.
Good morning, good afternoon, or wherever you are. Thank you for having me. I'm one sister to another. Love being here once a month to share my thoughts and perspective about what? Relationships. Always a hot topic. So let's go ahead and get this party started.
Let's get it started. Now, will you all, of course, as well have us to, I know my team is going to choke me for what I just did, but I just want to make sure I am set up good in this place, okay? We also have with us my Ty. Of course, she is a realtor. She is a notary. Girl, look, I believe you got some more gifts down on the inside of you. I'm going to help you write your book. Okay, say hey to the people, my Ty.
Hi. Hello, everybody. So excited to be here on the podcast. Thank you, Angela, for having me. Thank you, Tamara and Jay. Hey, Khalid. Can't wait to hear what you have to say today. It's an honor. It's National Women's Month, so thank you for having me.
Absolutely. My take. Okay, so Khalid, back to you. Of course, we are talking today about real talk. We're talking, of course, relationships. Can we just talk about? Y'all know I own the right to change it up if I want to. Can we just talk about today, Khalid, how relationships even are able? How can we take that relationship and gel it with a right or a peaceful mindset? Talk to us just a little bit about what you've discovered about people and their mental and relationships, and why sometimes that relationship doesn't work because that mental is not right. Maybe because of relationship before, maybe because of the divorce, maybe because of a traumatic challenge or situation that's happened to the person. Talk to us just a little bit about that, just kicking this thing off.
Okay. So, Angela, what I'm going to ask you to do is rephrase what you just said because you say about three different things. So, paraphrase it.
So talk to us somewhat, Khalid, about our mental state in regards to relationships.
Got it.
Talk to us
Okay.
about that.
Okay. So I'm going to not just talk about romantic relationships.
Yes,
I
yes.
also talk about just relationships in general, relationships with our family members, co-workers, our friendships, you know, because it's important. And to be honest, it all is the same thread, right? So, oftentimes I bring up the thing about you gotta have real good self-love in place, right? Because how you view you, right, individually, is how you're going to view yourself in relationships, right? So if you have a low self-esteem, low self-worth, and how you see you, what do you think you're going to bring to a relationship? Whether it's with your parents, whether it's with your siblings, whether it's with your cousins, whether it's with your co-workers, or somebody who you go to bed with every night, right? And so what happens is you want to always show up with the best version of you, right? But in order to show up with the best version of you, you have to, one, be ready to show up, right? And be ready to put in the work to do your absolute best, right? So then what happens is what we are so familiar with doing is that I have a pattern of behavior. So no matter who you are, to be honest, unless I'm kind of scared of you or you have some authority over me, I'm going to show up with that same person. And that's what gets us in trouble, right? So you might have somebody is, why can't I have the solid romantic relationships that I want, right? How come I'm not sister always fight? How come my best friends don't like hanging with me, right? Well, guess who's the common denominator, right? You are. So that's when you have to kind of sit back, retrospect, reflect, and say, what do people see in me? Oftentimes, when I'm meeting with clients, I tell them, I need you to do a mirror image, right? And what I mean is look in the mirror and tell me what you see. If you see any bumps, bruises, scars, wrinkles, whatever, and you don't like them, then do the work to look better, right? To be better. And then how you show up is how people treat you. You come negative with somebody, they're going to meet you negative. You come positive, how can you not have somebody come positive at you? So when you talk about the mental, it does start here, right? It's how you want to be treated, how you want to treat people, and what do you want from particular relationships, and to be honest about it.
Oh my God. So you're making sense now. Can you hear me, Khalid?
Yes.
You're making sense, so much sense, Khalid. So you've kind of like taken us to what we were going to really ask, which was how are relationships affected now by our mental health. But go deeper, Khalid, because at the end of the day, what's been some of your own experience? And we know we're not naming names, but what's been some of your own experience with clients, whether it's male or female, and how they sometimes react after you know that they've been through bad relationships and now they're having to report to you now because I'm needing mental help. Talk
Okay.
to us a little bit about that.
Yes. So each person is an individual, right? And each person has a set of agenda items or issues, right? So let me take a client, a female who didn't grow up with a dad, right? And you all know this, and we all know this. What I have observed women do is that I unconsciously or consciously want to fill that void of a man who loves me with no conditions. Because that's what you expect a dad to do with a daughter, right? Or son. That this is the first person who I love, right? And this person loves me whether I'm tall, short, fat, skinny, dark skin, light skin, red, right? They love me because I wake up every day and breathe. And when we don't have that in our life, oh my God, I want to know what that feeling is. Where they make the mistake is you seek it in men who you have romantic relationships with. If I'm a man and I'm sleeping with you, I don't want to be your daddy. I cannot be your daddy. Well, I can be the other daddy, but not that daddy, the paternal daddy. All right? Absolutely, right? So, because it's twisted, it's toxic. So what I have to tell female clients is, you know what? That older gentleman down the street that has always been the nice, nice good guy. Maybe you need to have a relationship with him. Maybe so you can get that dad or that favorite uncle or that granddad. If you can't, if you don't have your own daddy accessible to you, find a man with that agenda that, man, you can come and sit down and talk to me and I have no hidden agenda. Okay. But you got to separate that from the man you're in a romantic relationship with, right? And then let me go with the men, right? So now men, we have an agenda list, right? And we have learned women, right? And so if I'm a good guy, women don't like good guys, right? They like the bad boys, right? So if I'm a naturally good guy, but I want this woman to like me, now I got to learn how to have an edge about me, right? And even that, sometimes we take it too far, right? We think we have to be the gangster thug in order for her to be attracted. What women are really saying is, I want to know that you are going to protect me, provide for me, not beat me up. So I don't want a thug, but I want an alpha male, a strong man. That's what they're saying, but we don't convey it effectively, right? So us good guys think I gotta be tank top, Timberland boots, punch you in the nose. That's not it. That's a toxic masculinity, right? But what is the agenda for everybody? I want to be loved. I want to be cared for. I want to be protected. I want to be supported. We go by it in a wrong way. I tell people when they get divorced, I need you to have some single time. But what happens? Most men I've observed, right? They go, before they even sign the ink on the divorce decree, they have another girlfriend already. So they haven't been able to exorcise the demons from the marriage out of their system. What happens is, so Angela, I'm divorced last year, but I date you. You will start getting the after effect of what my wife gave. Why? Because I haven't had time to work on me, right? So if I was controlling, right, with her, guess what? I'm gonna be nice with you at first because I got to get you to come in. But afterwards, hey, Angela, I'm kind of hungry right now. Can you go in the kitchen and make me something to eat? Well, babe, can you give me about an hour? Well, man, I'm gonna die in an hour. Can I get something to eat now? That's what the ex-wife went through. But Angela, why is it your fault then? Why do you have some culpability in it? Because you knew you was dating a man who was still married. You knew I didn't do no counseling, but you wanted what? You wanted my company. And you was like, well, he's not with his wife. They're separated. They're about to divorce. He free. Because that ex-wife still got a part of me. Right? So we got to make better choices. We have to make better choices and vice versa.
You are,
I'm sorry.
You are hitting it on the head. My time. I want to bring you in because we're going to keep Khalid as long as he'll stay with us. And he's kicked this thing off as wide as it could possibly go. My take. Can you, and if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, would you please correct me? I'm okay with that. At the end of the day, it's National Women's Month. I say it's National Women's Forever. I want you to just chime in just a little bit about what's been your observation, my take. Come on, talk to us a little bit. I got to include you in this. You're the one with the spunk today.
Well, I'll first start by saying, Khalid, we do like nice guys. I can't
I
let
was
you.
getting ready to say that too. Go
We
ahead.
do. I want a nice guy. I do. I want a nice guy. However, I do want to be able to provide and protect. I mean, I agree with you on that. I agree with most of what you said, but I just have to say, I do want a nice guy. So, hey, if you're a nice guy and you're out there, hey. Anyway. No, but I was the person who did not fully heal after my divorce before trying to date. So I agree in that sense. You know, I thought I was well. I thought I was healed, and what happened is I felt that I was just piling things on top, just piling things on top. And I mean, when it exploded, it just exploded. I mean, I didn't do the work to heal mentally. And then I've been on the other side where I've dated a guy and I thought he was ready, but you know, he wasn't ready. And so yeah, it is important. Your mental health is very important. It's important to uh make sure that you do the work to be the best person that you can be, and that you are presenting the best version of you, not so much for the person, but for yourself as well. Because I mean, just from my experience, I mean, what I thought I wanted then, what I accepted then, is definitely unacceptable now, which is why I just couldn't let him say that I don't want a nice guy. Yes, I do. I do want a nice guy. Yes, I do. But yeah, so I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, heal first, right? You know, I've heard some people say the best way to get over one man is to get under another one. Nah, no, don't listen to that. Don't you listen to that. Do the work, heal yourself first, and make sure that you know you. I didn't even know who I was when I got out of my divorce. I mean, I had lost a lot of weight. I was going shopping and I love to dress, but I found myself in stores not even being able to shop for myself because, you know, I had done so much in the marriage, you know, for, you know, the other person and for the kids, that I had neglected myself so much. It was like, well, what do I like? So yeah, it's important to get to know you, you know, before you enter into something else.
But how do we decide, Khalid? Who decides what those particular steps are? Because here's my issue. My issue is that I can't tell Maite what her process will be. Talk to us, Khalid, about processes after hurt and relationships as it pertains to I matter with my mental. How do I settle that? How do I cause that me to have peace in my own mind without doing necessarily what others want me to do? I do what's good for me. Go ahead.
Right. So what happens is that we all have patterns that we're comfortable with, correct? So some of us wake up and the first thing we do is use the bathroom and go and brush our teeth. Other people use the bathroom, lay back down, get up, get in the shower, and brush our teeth in the tub. So we all have things that we're comfortable doing, right? When that pattern does you a disservice, that's when you have to reevaluate, right? So for me, I'll give you a real example. I'm a Cancer man. I attract Scorpio women, right? And I initially had the best relationships, romantic relationships with Scorpio women because it's fire and desire that come together, right? But when that fire and desire starts fizzling, what happens is the Scorpio woman comes after me with this, right? So I've learned after 5 Scorpio women, last one being my ex-wife, Khalid, maybe you don't need to date Scorpio women. Even though you have a powerful attraction, a good vibe with them, when it goes bad, and you got 5 stab wounds in your back already, right? And you don't have to get pints of blood to replenish your body. So maybe I need to deal with a Virgo woman, right? I got to change the pattern because it's up to me. I know what works for me, what doesn't work for me, right? I just lost 95 pounds. I love Giordano's pizza, but Giordano's pizza was not doing me any good. When I stopped eating Giordano's pizza, I lost 95 pounds. but it was up to me to do it. No other outside stimulus was going to help me make me better. I had to sit in my quiet space and say, man, what do I need to do for Khalid? Right now, I have a companion, a buddy with benefits, right? I've had her, we've been together for 16 months. Never one argument. Now, in all my romantic relationships, I be getting it in with the ladies. We be fighting. We be like, with my buddy with benefits, not one argument. So, because I changed the mentality, I relaxed my expectations. I still have some, and I let that person know up front, this is what I want from this situationship. Are you okay with it? You okay with it? Gotcha. Here's a pen. I need you to sign the permission slip saying you okay with being my buddy with benefits. Meaning you don't get boyfriend privileges. I don't get girlfriend privileges. But when Will Downey comes to the Chicago Theater, when Anita Baker gonna be at the United Center, I got your ticket, baby. We gonna do it. But then you gonna go home and I'm gonna go home. That works for Khalid because I have to break the patterns that were making me feel broken. You got to do what's best for you.
Oh my God, Khalid, I got to break the pattern. You know I'm getting ready to bring you in, Mate. You know I gotta break the patterns that have been breaking me. Talk to us, Mate, because when I tell you that is what just broke the glass freaking ceiling. I've got to break the ties, break it, that thing that's breaking me. Talk to us, Maite. And then Maite, while you're in, I need you to talk to us about if you believe in having a buddy with the fringe benefit. Talk to us about that too. Go ahead.
I was going to talk about all of that because that's something that Khalid mentioned at the end of our last show, and we were shutting it down, and so we didn't have any minutes left to address it, but I had planned on saying something to Khalid anyway. So, I mean, did you really fix it? I mean, if you think about it, can you say that you fixed your relationship issues with a situationship? I mean, you have a buddy with benefits, okay, and you said that last time you said this was the best relationship that you've ever had. You said you were able to lose your 90 pounds. See, I remember because I was going to come back to you with that. You were able to lose your 90 pounds and everything like that. Like, I guess it would be good for you because you can do whatever you want to do and she can't say anything. So I guess it would, I don't think that would be a good example, or I mean, for this, when we're talking about healing your mental health. I mean, because how is that evident that your mental health is healed if you're in a situationship? If you are able to go into a thriving relationship or into a marriage, then we can compare apples to apples. But I think comparing a marriage or other long-term relationships to a situationship is like comparing apples to oranges. And to answer your question, Angela, no, I wouldn't do it today. I've tried it. It didn't work for me. So I did try it. You know, I thought that, you know, after I had, you know, exited my marriage and everything, that I, since I was dating, you know, it took 2 years after leaving the marriage before the divorce was finalized. And so I was thinking in my head, listening to other people, well, might say you cannot demand a relationship from a guy and you're still legally married. You know, I was, like I said, I was dating. And so I thought that I could go into this situationship, you know, and say, okay, well, he has a friend and I'm still married and maybe I can handle it. Maybe he'll change his mind down the line. To me, all a situationship is just going into a half-hearted relationship either with a person who wants to do what they want to do, or with someone who's agreeing to be the partner on the other end, hoping that this person will change their mind down the line. I mean, it's very risky, not for you, Khalid, because apparently you're benefiting of you. I wish I could lose 90 pounds. I mean, but I'm not going to get in a situationship to do it. But yeah, I mean, I guess it would be the answer to your problem. You get the benefits, right? And then you get to do what you want to do. So why wouldn't it be the best relationship for you if you can have your cake and eat it too?
Right. So let me address that, okay? Because what I find is when I discuss this with people, people go to the negative connotation of it, right? Because why wouldn't you? We have been taught that the goal is relationship, the ring on the third left finger, me, you, and us, right? But remember what I do for a living. I'm a marriage therapist. What do you think I see in those sessions? I see people who've been together 1 year, 35 years, who act like they hate each other, right? I have friends. I have 7 friends who are going through divorces right now, and we're in our 40s and 50s. So then I've been divorced. I've been in relationships, and I've been very explicit about my relationships, right? So for me, Khalid, and I preface that, for me, it works for me. But what you don't know is, so let me break it down even more. My friend's cousin contacted me. Khalid, are you single? Yes. Khalid, I got a cousin. She's divorced. Like you, she has a kid in college in Atlanta. Your daughter's in Massachusetts. Would you like to meet my cousin? Tell your cousin that I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a companion. She was like, let me bring that to my friend, my cousin, and then I'll give her your number if she's okay with it. That weekend, myself and my buddy with benefits talked for 5 hours. In the beginning of the conversation, 3 hours into the conversation, and 5 hours. Tanya, are you okay with being my buddy with benefits? Khalid, I'm a 50-year-old woman. I'm working on a PhD, and I'm a principal at a high school. I'm grown. 9 months into us being in a situationship, a friend like you, Maya, multiple friends like you, Khalid, us women don't like that. That ain't, you wrong for that. Black women, you cheating us. And because I am a woman friend, my women friend are my sisters, and I love them. I was like, am I doing Tanya wrong? So I took her out to dinner. Tanya, my friends, like my others, said that I'm doing you dirty. She said, Khalid, keep those women out, keep them out of your ear. The day I don't like this situation, you will be the first person that I talk to. And I said, sweetheart, I'm never going to ask you again because I checked with you in the beginning and midway. I'm not going to ever ask you again. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm going to assume Tanya has been through enough in her life with her divorce and relationships to say, this works for me. I'm working on a PhD. I don't need Khalid to breathe. I don't need a man to breathe no more. My son is grown. I'm an empty nester. I want to go to the Will Downing concert. I want to go and kick it with Khalid and have a nice dinner and be intimate with this man who's making my body feel good. It's okay because she got girlfriends who are married who are like, damn, you that happy? So that's why I'm saying it's got to be individual. You got to keep society out of your ear.
Khalid, but not only society, in my take, let me first say this. I agree with everything that's been said, but I also agree with my take and you all and Khalid and the engineers that are listening behind the door. And of course, I want to share with you all again, I'm on location right here in Portland, Oregon, and I am at the TCT Tea House, and we in the back and we handling some business, right? So I pray that you all can hear me good. But I also will say, Khalid, I believe it's a person's choice I really do. Now watch this. I'm a Christian, love the Lord. I'm a preacher. I'm a pastor. All of it, all the gifts. But I am woman. Hear me roar. It's National Women's Month. I say National Women's Forever, Maite. And of course, Tamara is in the back as well. But I also believe it is your choice. Now check this out. But I also disagree with this. But Khalid lets me do this, right? He still loves me because he's my real brother. I disagree with not checking with her at some point again in the thing, because I could start out want to be your buddy with the benefits, right? But eventually, because I see that things are getting a little bit more heated, we may want to bring it on in. I didn't say we may not want to get married, but maybe we might want to be exclusive. Maite, you agree with that?
I do agree with it, and on shout out to Tanya if it works for her. As for my take, it won't work for me. I mean, because did you tell her that, hey, there may come a chance when you may not be the only one? So
I want to hear that.
now if Will Downing and Anita Baker come to town in 2023, it's you, baby. I'm only taking you. But in 2024, if they come, and I've added Sheila, so you may only get to go to one concert and Sheila goes to the other one. I mean, I don't know, but as for me, no, and no. I want to be in a thriving, happy, healthy relationship that leads to marriage. I will say this though, when I was unhealed, everybody I dated or every man I came in contact with, for some reason, I was already in my head just planning our life together. Like, I don't even know if this is going to last or not, but it was like, can I see a future with him? And oh my God, how would it be? And he got 2 kids, I got 2 kids, and our kids are around the same, but I no longer do that. And that's because I took some time to heal. And I've been single a long time. If you had have told me when I was leaving my marriage that I would be single this long, and when I say single, meaning without being married, right? I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, but it's been a journey, one that I'm grateful for. And I know that this time around, I'm able to present the best version of myself for my mate and then also for myself. I mean, I come with a lot. I have family, I have children, I have a grandchild and everything. So I have to be very careful in who I bring into the situation. My granddaughter wants a granddaddy, wants a mate for me. She wants me to have someone. So I have to be careful. I can't bring a situationship around that may be good for 6 months. And then what happens when she's asking about him? I don't want to do that. So it may work for you and Tanya, but not for me.
So you all, James Smith said that don't usually doesn't. He said that don't usually doesn't happen. As men, once we see you as the jump off, we will always see you as that and nothing more most of the time. Khalid, from a man's perspective, can you address that? Is that true?
Right. So, and he's absolutely right, but I don't see Tanya as a jump off. Right. Again,
make it plain.
We're 2 adult 50-something-year-olds, professionals, grown children. I can have a bunch of jump offs if I want to. And just to let you know, when we had that 5-hour initial conversation, we both said that, does that mean we can go out with other people? Absolutely. Again, what women aren't used to hearing from men, I'm giving you options. We usually
preaching now.
I'll give you your options as I'm ready to give you your options. That day on the phone, Tanya, you have option A or option B. Here's the pen. You tell me if you're ready to sign. If not, Sweet Pea, it was really great talking to you. And this was a great 5 hours. That was 16 months ago. And you said it yourself, sis. I lost 90-something pounds. You know what? How that weight came off in 6 months? 95 pounds, I'm sorry, in 6 months. Because I'm not stressed. I could focus in on the self-care. My daughter just got accepted to a University of Chicago medical internship. I'm not stressed about my daughter. The bills are paid. My private practice is thriving. And then at the end of the week, I get to go and spend time with a woman who cares about how I'm feeling. And I get to make her relax after a week of being with loud high school teenagers who drove her crazy. So you're saying break up with Khalid and get a man so you can say you got a husband and he might stress you out. I don't
Okay,
know.
but Khalid, every time you say this, Khalid, every time you say the stress part, though, this is where you kind of lose me a little bit, and I know you can give me clarity about. I need you to go back and talk to us good sisters like me and my Tay, who happen to be single, fine, and free, right? Talk to us a little bit about what you're saying. Congratulations to you, Khalid, and your daughter. Congratulations to you, Khalid, and your daughter, of course. And we'll always congratulate you and her because we love y'all just like that. But I want you to talk to us just a little bit about what I'm talking about. Because at the end of the day, the one thing I will leave this group with today, I ain't never stressed that man. If he was stressed, he stressed on his own accord. But the other thing is this right here. We both sent each other a text the other day to say, we lived a good life. But in my head, I'm saying, okay, so if we lived a good life, why did you decide one day in our life you was gonna get up and leave? You asked me to be your wife. Come on, we're talking relationships now. You asked me to be your wife 20 years ago, but when you left, you just got up and left and never came back to talk to me about why you were leaving. Talk to me about the stress of it all, because I matter, Khalid, and I do agree with most of everything you said. And even when you go back and you explain it, I agree with that too. I don't believe there's no wrong and right answers in this thing today. Can y'all let me read this real quick, and then I want you to come in, Khalid. Right? Any relationship is stressful, but people only get stressed when you're tired of the person. My God, come on, talk to us, Khalid.
That's it. That's it right there. What happens is when you get stressed, what is it? It's about something that you feel like you can't control, correct? That's what you get stressed about. So if I can't control my partner, right? So if I want dinner 7 days a week and my person isn't cooking 7 days a week, and that's the one thing I'm asking you to do for me, please. But I get sister girl, I'm not cooking 7 days a week. I ain't your mama. But I'm saying, babe, it just something about your cooking when I'm eating it, it feels good. And I love it every night. No, I'm not cooking every night. I'm stressed. Husband, you know what? I know you like going to the gym, but man, 7 nights a week and you coming in at 10 o'clock at night, and when you come in, you smell like rosemary soap. What's up with that? Babe, that's my
I'm stressed.
I'm stressed. I went to the hospital to visit a cousin and a veteran yesterday, laying up in a hospital bed. That was my friendly reminder that I owe me the best life I can have. I'm not giving my wealth and wellness to another person no more. From age 19 to 44, I was in relationships and I gave everything to those people. But when I had to, at 45 on to now, I'm 53, almost 10 years later, my God, I love the love affair I'm having with Khalid. And it shows. I'm 53 years old, and I just heard somebody said, you look 35. Why? Because I'm not stressed. My mother is one of the most cantankerous people on the south side of Chicago. I'm on the phone with my mother for 10 minutes. Ma, I love you. Talk to you later, babe. Mwah. I will not allow another human being walking on God's green earth to stress me out. Look what I do for a living. I teach people not to let stress overrun themselves. So I got to be the poster boy of it.
Khalid, you've shared so much with us today. Maite, I'm sorry, I gotta get you in. But can I say this? Paris Love says this, y'all. She says, yes, but it's not godly to have more than one lover. If a man needs more than one lover, girl, it's because he is selfish. And then Nora Nova says, you laying it down. she won't mind cooking 7 days a week. So what you think about that? If you laying it down, she won't mind cooking 7 days a week. But here's what I say, and then Mike, I want you to take over, okay? Because I'm getting ready to say something to mute my mic for real, and I'm the host. Baby, them brothers is not leaving about no cooking. Them brothers are leaving because you don't want to slob on Bob. Anyway, go ahead.
What?
Amen. Praise the Lord. Can we take up the offering? They ain't leaving because you ain't making them no muffins, because I can cook anything you want. I'm cooking my sleep. Them jokers is walking off because that other boy
I'm
is
working on
licking
your
your
diagnosis
booty.
right now. I'm working on your diagnosis right now, Angela. I'm going to diagnose you by the end of this show.
Oh God. Okay, wait. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God.
Okay, did you see what Perry said? I'm with Perry. Go ahead, Mite.
Oh my God. Why didn't leave it, Angela? Wait a minute. Okay, so what I want to say to Khalid is this. Listen, we cannot let you sit on this show and say that everybody in a marriage or everybody in a thriving relationship is stressed. No, they are not. There are some people who are like Tanya, principals at schools that are very happy and healthy, thriving relationships and marriages. There are therapists who do not take their work home, can listen to multiple cases and do listen to multiple cases a day of people wanting to end it all, of people ending it, wanting to end it after a week of marriage, a day of marriage, or they woke up on the night of marriage and didn't want to be. I mean, it's all situational. So I can't let you say that.
I didn't say that, Mike. I didn't. I said
I don't want it to be interpreted as either that you cannot live a stress-free life in a marriage or in a relationship. I
did not say that. I will not allow you to throw that on me. I did not say that.
Okay, well, say it one more time.
What I'm saying is through my observations, what I do this every day. I work with married couples. I tell you, 5 of my friends are going through divorces. So I'm hearing the feedback, right?
Right.
I look at the statistics. I need to, as a therapist, to know what's out here in the world. I always use me as an example. So then I'm saying what works for Khalid. I'm not prescribing my medication to nobody. I'm just saying what works for me, and I'm the living billboard of it. That's all.
Gotcha.
But
gotcha. I said it's all situational. Yes. But I mean, I just didn't want it to be. I mean, sometimes we can say one thing and then it's heard as something else. But they stress because the communication is lacking. But I just think that there are people in happy, healthy, thriving relationships who are not stressed. Bishop Greg Davis that she had on the show about 3, 4 weeks ago, he also said something that was very powerful. He said in relationships that you have to, in the midway point or somewhere down the line, renegotiate the terms and conditions of the relationship. I thought that was really good, which is kind of what you said that you did with your situationships. I know that you're an advocate for that. I'm an advocate for thriving, healthy relationships and marriages and being whole and healthy mentally until you are able to get into one and presenting your best self.
Right. Let me throw this out. I wouldn't be a marriage therapist if I wasn't pro-marriage. Again, sometimes we hear what we want to hear in the moment. You're hearing me tell you about my life situation, so you think I'm the advocate. I am not telling everybody to do this. It's my prescription.
Mm-hmm.
Hear that. I don't want another couple to have to go to the 30th floor of the Daily Center. I don't, because I know how I felt being up on that floor 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. I want everybody, but what I've learned and with my successful couples is when they start doing the individual work, that's when the marriage became better. But as long as I rely on him and she relies on, and he relies on her, that was the setup. You're not going to fill all my needs. That's my responsibility. That's why I started off earlier when women, like the women who didn't have daddies, but they looked for a daddy figure in their men. And it was a setup for what? Failure. As the man laying in bed with you, I'm not supposed to be your daddy figure. You got to figure that out on your own, right? I'm just trying to teach people how to be healthier in their relationships by starting with them. But what I'm saying is new school. We're used to grandmama and granddaddy, and break down grandmama and granddaddy's relationship. How many of us, our granddaddy has kids outside the marriage? Or our Uncle Walter? How many of those? When we break down their relationships, they just stayed together because they what? Did not have the options that we tend to have now. So I'm just saying, do it healthy. That's always my premise. Have a healthy relationship individually, and I think it would help create a healthier relationship.
Khalid and my tag, I believe everything that we've said today has been what I would not even want you guys here if we couldn't figure out a way to disagree and agree the whole nine. Khalid, my take, as we're leaving today, we've got maybe about a good 8, 9 minutes left. I want you both to talk about, you particularly first, Khalid. I want you to talk about um, real talk relationships. Let's talk candidly about I matter mentally. Can you talk about ghosting? Why do men in relationships, Khalid, ghost? Where does that come from? Nora Nova says, should have boundaries and love on herself more. And that is so true. Why do men ghost, Khalid? Why do men feel the need to lead the woman on first, make her think, that's a charm? I call that a charmer. That's almost like a wicked. He charms her first, gets her to buy in, right? And then he ghosts her, meaning now he don't want to talk as much as he's been talking. She didn't lie to herself. He lied. Let's put it on who it needs to be put on. Talk to us a little bit about that. My time, you're going to come in and comment or share, and then we're going to go ahead and end the show. Go ahead, Khalid.
Okay. So one of the things that let me be real clear. Anytime a relationship doesn't work out, it's not on one person. It's on both. Right? It's on both. When I'm working with married couples, I tell them there's no villain and there's no victim. There's two super people where they got into a bad situation, right? Because the day you start blaming one person and saying the other person, you go wrong. Because let me take that example you just gave. A man and woman get together, she's giving it all, he's giving it all, and then he disappears on them. More likely, she taught him how to treat her. And or, right? He listened to men. We pay attention to you when we first start dating you, right? And if all your boyfriends broke up with you, that lets us know something going on. She got that Halle Berry effect.
I didn't say all of them, just that one, not all of them, just that one.
You said what?
I was saying, I didn't say all of them, just that one. This young lady, while you're speaking, said they ghost you because they're immature. But go ahead. The men are immature.
Right. So what happens is this. We teach people how to treat us, right? And we ignore red flags. So if that young lady in that scenario, he was ghosting her before, but she didn't pick up on it. So this time he was just more assertive with the ghosting. So it started off, I used to text you immediately. Now I waited an hour before I text you back. I used to talk to you for an hour. Now we talk 5 minutes. I'm in the middle of something, babe. I'm in a meeting right quick. It was a process. And then when he got tired or somebody else was more available, I'm out of here. So that's what I'm saying. When you have that self-love in place, you can see that criminal a mile away. When you look at the patterns of behavior of people, you can see them a mile away. When you chose to walk around with blindfolds, that's why I get you. And men, we have targets. We have targets. I know some men who pick a certain type of woman.
Mm-hmm.
And if and it falls in line. Remember, I'm friends with a whole bunch of brothers. And for some reason, the guys I know, they ruthless. And they will tell you, hey, I'll date somebody dark skinned. I'll date somebody heavy set. I'll date somebody who doesn't make as much money as I do. I'll date somebody who's been divorced 10 years and they haven't been out. Why? Because the desperation. I'll go online and find women to date, because once a woman gets online, she gonna told me as a man, she ready and she desperate. Do it hurt hearing these truths? Of course it does, but you gotta hear them. So as a woman, you can say, I'm with it or I'm not with it. That's why the ownership has to be on you. If you let me victimize you, I'm going to victimize you. But the day you tell me, no, not me, I'll give you the respect. And not only tell me, show it in your actions. Ask any man who's dated a woman who said, I'm celibate. I'm celibate. Oh, you are? Zip. Soon as she hears the zipper, I'm not celibate anymore. So he's looking back like, yeah, got you. We got to be consistent with our messages. We got to be consistent with our messages. Strong Black women act like it. If you're a strong Black woman, you got to act like it. And it's got to be a full-time job. It can't be a part-time job. Strong Black brothers, if you strong, you got to be that dude. Because people watch your patterns every day. And if I can find a dent in your surface, I'm going right in. And that's it. And the part I want to address real quick, you said I do need to check in with Tanya. No, I don't. I'm dating a very intelligent woman. She told me at the last outing, Khalid, I'm good. So it behooves her now to say, Khalid, I've done my due diligence. Right? I'm not going to treat her like a child. That's a 50-year-old grown, educated woman. The day she's not comfortable with this, she has to tell me. Let me give you one extra. I asked my daughter, I was like, Anaya, do you want to meet Miss Tanya? My daughter said no. I said, why not, Anaya? She said, Daddy, well, when y'all have a title, then I'll meet her. I was like, my God, look at the woman I raised. She was smart enough to say, ain't no point in me meeting somebody who is just your companion. When she becomes a girlfriend, that's when I'll meet her. I need my daughter to have that mentality, because when the guy comes to her with some different mess, she'll be up on it. I need more daddies raising their daughters, giving them the think like a man, be a lady. Because then maybe we wouldn't have all this. And for the boys too. For the boys too. I sat with my mentor the other day, and he was like, why don't women want us nice guys? I said, they do, but they want you when you're in your 30s, when they're in their 30s. They do.
It's not true.
You cannot tell a man how women treat men. You cannot do that, sweetie. It's our experience. Like, I can't tell you how men do women. I'm not a woman. I haven't been treated bad by a man. So I can't take away your experience, right? I've had mentee after mentee, young man after young man who's the nice guy saying, why don't the pretty girls like me? But when they get in their 30s, those pretty girls who are tired of Tyree, guess who she ready to date? Mr. Bartholomew, right? Right? So this is only observation.
So you guys, prayerfully you can hear me okay. Listen, we don't have any more time. When I tell y'all what when I tell y'all we have run out of time, but when I tell y'all my time, you gotta come back and keep thinking about what I asked you earlier. Listen, it's your girl, one sister to another. I'm the show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation. Heard live on location in Portland, Oregon, at of course TCT place today. We're here and we're getting ready to go. But I'm telling y'all, this show has been thebomb.com. I am always blessed to have Khalid Scott, our mental clinician, who's out here with us. Khalid, can you please tell us how we can send you an email? We can talk to you about mental health. How can they hook up with you? And then Mike, we're going to do the same thing with you, and then we're going to go.
Khalid Scott on all social media outlets. 312-43-SCOTT. 312-43-SCOTT.
Okay, and then Maite, how do we get in touch with you about our realty needs, our notary needs, all of it?
Okay, so my email address is mieatajohnson@gmail.com. That's MIEATA Johnson@gmail.com. I'm always answering my emails. You can shoot me an email with your information, and I'll get back to you with the call. I would be more than happy to help you with your real estate needs, notary needs. Thank you for having me, Angela. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Look, we're going to go. Thank you, team. Big J, Tamara, of course, Trayla, and Dakari. I love you all so much. One sister to another with a show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation. Heard right here on One Sister to Another podcast. Today is a gift from God. What you do today, if your gift is your gift, back to Him. Love you all. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Thanks